Well, international tourists are converging on the southern Mexican state of Yucatan. It's an ancient home of the Mayan civilization, which used advanced mathematics to create precise calendars. And this year, they've created a bit of a stir as well, and a monster, if you will. That's because on Friday, December 21st, the Mayan cycle of time actually comes to an end, which some say means the end of the world. But in villages across Central America and southern Mexico, Mayan people are focusing more on surviving day to day than about the end of day. CCTV's Franc Contreras joins us now from Chichen Itza, Mexico, with more.
Yes, thanks, Mike. Live here now from Chichen Itza. This is a main archaeological ruin, very important to the Mesoamerican civilizations. Part of the Mayan civilization continues here. As you said, global attention is focusing now on this part of the world and on this ancient way of thinking about time, really, the way people constructed time in a similar sort of circular fashion. We did visit a Mayan village earlier today to find out what people were thinking there about this, and they tell us that they're more concerned about protecting their culture and making sure that it continues to live on.
Henry Abad is a direct descendant of the once great Mayan civilization. Like most other modern-day Mayans, he struggles to make a living, working 3 jobs to keep his infant daughter and wife fed. Every day he visits his grandmother, one of the only people left in his family who still speaks Mayan.
Grandparents, people who are in their 50s or 60s are the ones who speak Mayan because their parents taught them how. The new generation has left the language behind.
Now, as the Mayans' main cycle of time comes to an end, some have interpreted that as a sign that the world is also coming to an end. Like indigenous people across the Americas, the modern-day Mayans are among the poorest people in Mexico and much of Central America. This internationally renowned Mayan writer says, despite the greatness of their cultural heritage and the tourism dollars it brings, they are excluded from sharing the wealth.
Precisely for that reason, we Mayans continue living at the bottom of the rung of society. It is caused by this appropriation of our culture, which has social and political consequences in our daily lives.
As much of the world tries to understand the true meaning of the Mayan prophecies, Henry Abad and hundreds of thousands of other Mayans continue working long hours and earning less than $20 a day.
Yes, Mike, as you could hear, people here are concerned about saving and preserving their culture in the face of great poverty. As we reported there, the Mayan people live among the most poor conditions in the southern part of Mexico and Central America.
You know, what's interesting, Frank, you talk about how impoverished they are. They live these kind of simple lives, and this has become so complicated in such a sense that, you know, we talked about how this is being reacted to in France, China, all around the world. You probably had a chance to visit with these people. Are they surprised at the global spotlight being focused on them in the Mayan calendar?
Actually, we spoke to a lot of people here, and some weren't even aware that this was happening. That's because many don't even have enough money to afford the internet, Mike. They don't have the ability to pay for that kind of a service, so they had no idea that this kind of global attention was being focused on their very heritage. So it's this big contradiction. People coming from all over the world. We heard Arabic being spoken here at Chichen Itza today, Russian, Chinese, people from everywhere, really, and yet the people who live in the villages right nearby almost unaware of what's taking place.
Interesting. Franc Contreras live for us in Chichen Itza tonight. Thanks so much.